It is a gorgeous midsummer night as TNT Sports presents Wendy's Pole Night from Richmond International Raceway for tomorrow's Air Guard 400. The weather here is absolutely perfect. 86 degrees. It's been warm. It's currently 79 degrees. Sorry, 84 degrees right now. A little past 6:30 here in the East Coast, here locally. And we're getting ready for 2 rounds of qualifying. For the short tracks, 20 minutes in the first round. Things to note. See Dylan Murway walking to his car. He's riding on some pretty high clouds. After his Brickyard 400 win. Jacob Tube narrowly lost the points lead after the Brickyard 400 Sunday, looking to reclaim it tonight. But it all starts here in qualifying, where we decide who starts where in his 34 car field Saturday night. Hello everyone, I'm Alan Bestwick alongside Benny Parsons. Wally Dolmack is currently off in our garage as is on assignment. You'll hear from him in a moment. He'll probably be coming up here. He'll be coming up here in a few moments. The weather here, everybody expected it to be a little cooler, but it's still surprisingly warm out. So will we see people a lot slower in the turns? Alan, the way these cars are set up, a lot of guys are tuned to expect this race being the day, but with this race being at night, in both the Richmond races, a lot of guys just carried their same setups over. And just tuned for that because qualifying was earlier in the spring race. Right, it was by an hour, but it was still earlier than it is right now, or an hour and a half earlier, basically. Anyways, we got 20 minutes, 2 rounds. Positions 34 through 13 will be set right here. And here comes the Land Rush coming off pit road, being led by second place point man Jacob Tube. This huge rush of cars coming onto this 3/4 mile oval. It's being led by Jacob Tube. By the way, thanks to these four teams here for carrying our NBC TNT 360 Bug Eye Cam. Peyton Beasley will be one of 4 drivers carrying it. Joshua Leanbatch, Derek Lewis will carry the onboard camera. And Grace Nasebdo will carry the 360 Bug Eye Cam. And you see the Land Rush continues. Here's the thing with 20 minutes here, less guys are going to continue. They're going to trickle out. You're going to see guys trickle out more. You see all the Toyotas are starting to go together. The 3 Haas guys are starting to go. Here's the 24. So far, Jacob Tube, he has been the qualifying king this year. He's been known as pretty much Rocket Man. He's been leading in polls pretty much all year. The majority of the sessions we run, with the exception of a couple, with those exception of a few being canceled, he's starting on the pole in the front row, or he's had a good track position, which is, tell you what, it's quite critical in this series, especially with how aggressive drivers get. And see also the way these drivers are going to drive this track, they're going to, especially since we're going to be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, it's going to be a lot less sun, track's going to be cooler. Now you see a lot of guys were initially considering to use this session to try to experiment with grooves. As you see that one car entered way deeper than I expected, up towards the wall. And Jessica Shelton did that as well. She entered her car. Her car entered down towards turn 1 pretty high, while a lot of other guys like the 48, the 24, the 18, 6 are entering down on the bottom. Now the question is, with these multiple grooves, do you think we're going to be seeing more bumping or less bumping? It's a short track, so bumping is going to be a pretty integral part of the equation, but especially with the multiple grooves, it's just going to come down to whoever can get the best run early. And that was a big problem with the Busch race. With drivers trying to get down in the corners deep on the line as much as they can. And CV3, 22, 31, 43, 16, all on the racetrack right now. So it means there are several cars that have not taken time just yet. The 24 and the 10 have pulled off. The 11's pulled off. 88 has pulled off. And as of right now, as we look at our Credit 1 Fast 5, I think with this 20-minute cushion, since very few, especially since a lot of these guys take these sessions a lot less seriously, they go out later. I mean, we saw the initial group go out the way they did, that big land rush, because they wanted to get as much track time as they could. Since the practice session didn't come until about 3 p.m. this afternoon, they didn't have a morning session. They will have one tomorrow that is completely optional, which can be seen at noon on TNT, and then follow that by the race. You see the Capital One Quick 5. Robert Smith, moments ago, coming off turn number 4, had a pretty good lap. Moves himself up to the top. Nice job, bud. All you. WB Network, Zach Speed, move up multiple spots. WB Network to 4th, Zach Speed to 7th. Then you see the rest of the field. Remember, you got to be in that top 12. So I think with especially the way this weekend schedule's been, especially with the optional session, practice session tomorrow, early in the morning, to kind of get a feel for conditions, I personally think a lot of these guys a few guys are going to run that as an option. There's going to be one at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, and then one at noon. 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, then they're going to impound these cars and then put them through inspection and then send them to go racing. terrible lap for the 22 of Zox Moon. Joseph Lombard has a good lap. Jonathan Morrison, after crashing at Indy on the last lap Sunday, has a great lap. Moves up to 6th. Brendan Little moves himself in. As of right now, I think a lot of the guys like the 2, the 24, the 88, the 4, the 18. A lot of them are just going to probably wait things out. We see Hunter Rizzoni pulling onto the racetrack. Last time we had a points short track race was Richmond. He did win one and surprised everybody earlier this year in the night race at Bowman Gray back in April. Since then, it's just been a struggle for the 41 team. He'll be carrying on it. Iser Cam for tomorrow night's race. You see it now. The 27 is finished his lap. He's going off turn 4 now. 13th for these sets. And Hunter Rizzoni moves in 15th. Right now, Dylan Murway is down on pit road with Kelly Stavast. Kelly? I'm sorry. Robert Smith is down on pit road with Kelly Stavast. Kelly? Well, Robert, you've had a pretty fast car all evening here in this session. Can you tell us what you're doing? Honestly, I don't really know. We've really been experimenting with our short track programs. We won here in June. We brought that same exact car, by the way. So we played around with the setup, went to the wind tunnel. We brought the same car, and it's been fast. Since we unloaded and had that practice session earlier today. And obviously, there's going to be that optional one tomorrow morning, which I don't think a lot of teams are going to take. But yeah, our Miller Lite Blue Deuce Ford is sitting strong out front. I don't think. Are you guys going to take another run? Nah. Me, the 24, and the 88 are so far ahead. We're probably just going to. If you're anybody in the top 5, why would you make another run? You're just burning up your equipment at that point. Robert Smith's very confident about his car. Hopefully, he'll try to go for a pole in round 2. Alan, Wally, go ahead. He's got a point. I mean, with these shorter rounds and these shortest sessions, you don't really want to destroy your car and burn it out, or risk getting in trouble, or risk burning up your brakes and not get the pole in the second round. So he's doing a smart thing by waiting. But if you're a guy like somebody like a Zox Moon, who we learned earlier that she will be losing her ride next year to Brendan Little. She definitely had a great lap going off 4. And awesome job, Zox Moon. All the way to the top. So, anyways, since the only 13 through 34 are going to be set in this round, and you have the top 12 going to be fighting for a pole, if you're somebody like a Caleb Hoffman, You see, Joseph Lombard just edged you out. Never mind, I think we read our minds. Yeah, you read our minds. Head back out. Head back out. You will be carrying our visor cam and our Buckeye cam next week at Portland. Seven minutes left in the session. A lot of guys are just waiting for anybody who's around, maybe the middle of the field. Middle of this group. Casey Cupshoes is staying out there on pit road next to Dave Barnes. Dave? Alright, Casey Cupshoes, your car's not really running right, man. You explain what happened? Oh, it's terrible. It's got horrible push. We should have tried going out with the Ford because he's probably the fastest car out of us all weekend. But yeah, a little concerned with our car. I'm really concerned with our car. It's just been terrible all night. We didn't turn in practice at all, basically, because I've been wrecking loose all week. I think we're P29 I thought now. It's just so terrible. So hopefully in the morning session, which we will run tomorrow, we hit on something for tomorrow night's race. Caleb Hoffman sets himself comfortably in 6th right now. Other drivers talking things out. Jacob Tube talking to his teammate, Nate Sherman. Possibly a strategy conversation. And other pit crews. Gustafson, Greg Ives, Chad Knaus, and Darian Grubb recently announced that Wednesday he's going to be the new crew chief for the 5, and there's also some big changes coming to Hendrick regarding that. The 5 team is going to become the 24 team, and the 24 team is now going to become the new 9 team for next season. With Jacob Tube still driving the Napa car, and Hunter Miller going to be driving the Exalta and Liberty University car. That deal was actually announced earlier today in the media center, the Chevrolet Pavilion outside the Speedway here at Richmond. And see the new cars being rolled out. Kind of nice to see a college sponsor somebody in the IAP Cup Series. Exalta has a pretty nice deal with some colleges, especially down with Penn State and Jacob Tube back at Pocono in 2015. And with this, anyways, back to the subject of racing. It's nice to see Apollo Moon will still have the 88 car. His ride was up in question next year. But I believe after his win at Daytona, he signed on for a few more years at Hendrick. Zoex Moon, she obviously is trying to put on a performance to convince some team owner, which, according to her social media posts earlier on this weekend earlier on Thursday, that she is in talks with Jack Roush to replace one of his 3 cars for next season. Where if it would be, but current road race, Alvin Alonso will stay at the 7th stay, since they recently enacted a lifetime deal with the company, with the team. Brendan Little will be going to the 22 for next season. So it could be possible that she goes into the vacant 16 seat. Peyton Beasley is also rumors of him retiring next year, which could possibly and there is rumors that Joseph Lombard's brother Zachary could possibly land a spot on that team. Silly season is in pretty full effect. It was announced that Dylan Mulroy signed a huge multi-year deal with Stewart-Haas. Joshua Leanbatch signed a pretty good deal as well with Joe Gibbs. I think if you're anybody in the top 9 or 10, I just shut your cars off. In fact, a lot of these guys are doing the same thing. As you see Caleb Hoffman talking things over with his crew chief. That if you're anybody like the 11, 48, 43, or 27, or even the 6 maybe, I'd probably think about going out again. Same time, Nate Sherman's is in by about 0.3 of a second. See him rolling out. Sports Center Cup Series also joining. So we wait things out here on pit road. Nate Sherman currently sits parked at the end of pit lane. Sports Center Cup Series sits down there as well. And okay, M&M's Cup Series, Sports Center Cup Series, terrible run that time. He's 32nd. Yeah, I'd be going to the wrong board if I was him. But at the same time, the 43 is 0.3 of a second back. Zach Speed continues to gap him. So compared 20 to 43 that he's in, if you're anybody in the top 10, you're basically in. In as of right now. "30 seconds left, coming to get the green. Here comes Nate Sherman down the backstretch. Sports Center Cup Series follows. Root turns 3 and 4. Their timer is going. Sports Center Cup Series. Nate Sherman in the 48 up to 10th. Sports Center Cup Series stays and ups to 12th. Congratulations to Zoex Moon for a blinding fast qualifying lap. In round 1. Now we get ready for the final round. 12 cars going for the pole. We'll be back here at Wendy's Pole Night at Richmond in a few moments.
It has features Corolla doesn't have. Like,
I am not a secretary. I'm an administrative assistant.
I'm not a babysitter. I'm a domestic caregiver.
I'm not a clown. I'm a child entertainer.
I am not a plain M&M. I am a milk chocolate M&M.
M&M's, now with a politically correct name.
I'm not a cheerleader. I'm an athletic supporter. What?
It's that time of year again, when we depend on the light of the season to brighten our days. We at Chevy want to give you something else you can depend on. To help keep America rolling, we've extended 0% financing on the full line of Chevy trucks. That's right, 0% financing on all 2002 dependable Chevy trucks. So head to your local Chevy dealer and light up your life. Make your money count today.
Hi, this is my house. I call it the Calvin's House of Cheddar. This is my wall of cheese. I love cheese, you can see.
Oh boy, Cheddar England, Ground Zero for us cheddar lovers.
If you love cheddar, nothing's more delicious than Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger.
This is my first cheesehead hat that I got from my dad.
Bacon, sauteed onions, and tons of cheddar.
The man who put the 2 E's in cheese, Dave Thomas.
Come try Wendy's Cheddar Lovers Bacon Cheeseburger.
Big cheese.
And now Wendy's pickup window's open late, so you can eat great even late.
See you later.
Oh, little hedgehog, why do you run? What is the nature of fast? Is it a state of mind? Why is fast something you've got to go? How can you be both this and this? What other mysteries do you hold, little hedgehog? These are the questions whose answers we must seek together.
Back here at Richmond, the common theme at short tracks made people think none shall pass, but they do anyway. "19 tries to go to the back bumper at 41. He can't get there. He taps him, but he doesn't move him. Hunter Arizona wins it at Bowling Gray." Get ready for the second and final round here tonight. At Richmond Raceway. See the sun starting to set in the background. We have 10 laps this time instead of the 10 minutes instead of 5. And of the 5 we normally get, we will get the 5-minute round next week at Portland. It's going to be interesting to see how group qualifying was pretty entertaining to watch last time. We were at a racetrack, at a road course, which, by the way, Portland will be among a group of part of a few races here on NBC and TNT that will have qualifying race the same day. Obviously, the other few, those that have that situation is or all night races basically. Honestly, anyways, regarding future racing on TNT and NBC, next Saturday at Portland, it's at 3:30 with start tracking and green, and 4 p.m. will be the ISM Connect 300K at 4 on TNT. Sorry, NBC. And there will also be, this will be one of 3 races that Adult Swim will have uncensored radio footage on its website. Pretty interesting. Our partners over at Cartoon Network and William Street are going to have this. And it was getting set for the second round to start here. And the 10-minute timer starts right now. Definitely a lot more urgent land rush. Jacob too. He feels pretty confident, but sometimes these 2 Penske guys behind him could very well just take the pole away from him. Jacob too out first. By the way, it's all sense that Caleb Hoffman will be carrying our visor cam next week, along with a couple of guys at the back, supposedly Real Radman, will be coming to Portland and driving the 16 car, driving the 6 supposedly for Portland, according to a press release. He is a road ringer, which also explains since we also learned that Peyton Beasley is retiring. We learned this after the Brickyard Farm that he is retiring at the end of the year. Silly season is in quite the effect. Anyways, your current top 12 right now. Sits as follows. Jacob Tube currently is the quickest, obviously by about 4/10 over the 2 car. Everybody brought their cars down pit road, surprisingly. Well, at least the top 8 did. The 48, 4, 78, 48, 78, 11, and 20 are still on the racetrack. Nate Sherman jumps to 6th. WB Network, Daytona 500, and Michigan winner moves up to 8th. Zach Speed, obviously, probably still mulling over that Richmond incident. He sits 11th, 12th, quickest out of the 12th that have taken some form of time. And as of right now, here's definitely some interesting communication from the 11. Track's really starting to lose a lot of grip. Yep, I felt a lot faster that time by. And you see the sun's setting and the lights starting to come on. You can see that drivers are actually able to get their cars hooked up a lot more than what they were early in the session with the sun out and slowly thinking of setting. And Sports Center Cup Series moves to 4th. I'm sorry. Oh, he's going for more. Yeah, he feels good about his car, I think. He's the Pocono pole sitter. He's made the chase pretty much every year since this series was incepted back in 2014, 2015. Our Adams Polish's race chase. He's moving up to 3rd, 2nd. I think he's in 2nd right now because can he get to that 24? Tell you what, if this was Martinsville, he probably would, and he'd probably dump him. Oh, we'll be seeing a lot of that Saturday night. A lot of bump and grind, bump and runs. A lot of aggressive contact, especially between if you're the 4 and the 20, possibly is one we'd like to come to mind. If you remember last Sunday at Indy, while battling for the lead late, Dylan Mulroy drove it in really deep, got loose, hit the 20, And right here, both these cars should have wrecked. The 20 saves it. The 4 saves it. It's into the 20. Pins the 20 in the wall. Pretty big contact. Zaxby gets out. Not happy at all with the 4. Or in the way that decision went down. And Dylan Murway battled with right front damage and engine concerns to his first Brickyard 400 win. Andy staying by with Bill Weber. Bill, well, Dylan, things were kind of loony late stages of the Brickyard 400 last Sunday. Could you tell us what you're thinking when you and the 20 got together? Don't rack, don't rack, don't rack, don't rack, don't rack. I personally like to pass a guy cleanly. Late in the race, I will get aggressive, but I don't like racking a guy. And I felt bad. I went over and talked to him after the race, afterwards, and calmed him down. I legitimately felt bad because if he was, I was trying to keep it under him. Luckily, I saved it. Otherwise, both of us would have ended our chances. But unfortunately, we had to sacrifice a 20 for that to happen. So we talked things out and got some lunch. Remember that we will race each other hard but clean. And he seemed to agree with it. So hopefully we can just keep our Bush Beer Chevrolet clean and ahead of the chaos. Us come tomorrow night. And that's Dylan Murway. He carried himself with great class right there. I mean, he didn't mean direct, but at the same time, with the magnitude of the Brickyard 400, anything goes. You'll wreck your teammate. You'll wreck your best friend. You'll do anything to win. Anything in your power. If you gotta wreck someone, you're going to wreck him. And Dylan's a clean guy. He's the cleanest guy out there from what I've seen. From everything we've seen, he's the cleanest guy out there. No questions asked. But sometimes things happen. Things happen between the two. Things happen. Anyways, since nobody else took time at all during the remainder of this session, Jacob Tube continues to rack the poles up. That kid is fast. He will start on the pole tomorrow night at 8 on TNT with the AirGuard 400. It's going to be an entertaining race. He's out front ahead of the traffic. Congratulations to the 24 for winning yet another pole. Anyways, some things we have to watch out for tomorrow night. Are we going to be over or under on cautions? Richmond Raceway is known to be exciting, but recently it's been follow the leader and the drivers race a lot cleaner than they normally would have. But in the Iowa Cup Series, there's been no shortage of excitement. So we our average here has been five total in terms of caution. So could we be under that? I say we hit right around 4 or 5 cautions tomorrow night. Will there be payback? There may be a strong possibility. Zach Speed, obviously, in his interview post-race at Indy, he did hint at payback, but Dylan Murway did talk things out with him, saying he didn't mean to wreck him. So, bet you he puts it in his memory bank. Drivers have a longer memory than elephants. And one final thing, keep your cool. It's a short track. Drivers get nose to door, nose to tail, bumper to bumper. Somebody could bump the guy out of the way, and a guy may hold you up, a guy may cut you off, a guy may run you up the hill. Keep your cool. Don't tear up your car early or tear up somebody else's car just because somebody did something on the racetrack you didn't like. If a driver hits all three of those keys, he will be successful tomorrow night at Richmond. Up next on TNT, Charmed on the East, followed by Charmed on the East Coast, and Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, directed by Peter Jackson on the West. Then tomorrow night at 7:30, the AirGuard 400 presented by Pepsi begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with the Credit One Bank pre-race show. And then at 8 p.m., you'll see live flag flight coverage of the AirGuard 400. So long from Richmond.